Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our Monday morning trading room. I trust everyone had an enjoyable weekend. This is a short trading week with the Easter holiday at the end of the week. Let's just get the screen share going here. Okay, so it looks like the market opened with a slight gap to the upside this morning. The overnight, fairly active. So the market leaving off here around the 65.50 zone and opening around the 66.60 area. So like I said, a little bit of a gap below the market right now. Things looking a little bit more bullish overall, maybe bullish to sideways. We'll have to see how that plays out. Couple early signals here for those of you who like to get on board, get the job done right away. We've got a first micro macro cross here in the Hawk that's working out really nice, as well as a trend change signal here in the Falcon. The Eagle Band just turning over now, as is the Raptor. So things slowly syncing up. As you know, I'm not a big fan of getting in early, although this would have worked out very well here this morning, especially, say, off that first micro macro cross. I tend to be a little bit more gun shy. Well, maybe not so much gun shy, but looking for something resembling a trend. So we'll hang with it here for a few minutes. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a retest. That's to be expected. Like I said, they're trying to get their bearings. Buyers out quickly. Let's see if the sellers respond to that. All right. Look at this here. We're getting a little bit of a counter trend move now on the Eagle. The Falcon working a late filter entry signal, which we know to be a pretty strong signal overall. The problem with signals like this is, yes, they're reliable signals, but the reliability of the signal is also dependent on where you cover the trade. Right? You can't really cover the trade right there. That's going to put things too tight, and you can see you're going to get stopped out before you even have an opportunity to get profitable. In a situation like this, I always recommend what we call a second push entry. Namely, you let the signal engage, you see where it flinches, and then you place your order. That way, you're looking for some renewed momentum to bring you in. But like I said, it's still early. We're only 5 minutes into the day. Looks like the sellers are going to push back now. Wow, the hawk really responding well. So far. And now we're hitting a little bit of a sideways thingy. And now we're kind of bouncing back a bit. Okay. Still kind of holding that sideways trading range. Now we're back near the highs of the morning. You can see right here. If this dips a little bit, we're going to get a cloud crossover, I think. Anthony, what's this? Anthony is a little bit bearish this morning. He's looking for the market to retrace to 6,600. Well, we'll see. Certainly possible. That's kind of in the middle of Friday's trading range. Oh dear, they're not going to give me another chance to buy into this one, it looks like. I was hoping for a little bit of a pullback. Oops, there we go. All right, here now, finally, a number one signal. You can't see it very well for all the writing. And a chance at a second push entry. I might, run it away on me a little bit here. That's out of reach. Let's try that again. Let's frame it a little bit like so. I'm still not convinced the market's not outside of the sideways trading range, so as you can see, I'm giving it quite a bit of room here. The number three signal might actually be a little bit easier to get on board with. Excuse me. And let me see, 66.80. I think that's near the overnight high as well. Oh yeah, look at that. Pretty much bang on the number, 66.79 and a quarter, the overnight high, and 66.80. So it's all within the same neighborhood. And now they're falling off. Okay. All right, I think I can close that up for now. Oh, excuse me. Okay, things getting a little more interesting right now. A little bit of a cloud cross now to the short side. Pardon me. Excuse me a moment. Sorry about that. Yeah, you might be right, Anthony. Anthony's remarking here the NQ is severely overbought, and that may well be the case. But I'm not going to get too crazy shorting just yet. But there's still opportunities here. Like I said, for those of you a little bit more aggressive than I am, we've had some great opportunities here on the Hawk this morning. Even just doing the first micro macro cross signal. Had one here, one back here, and I think one early on out of the open. So 4 signals already. We're only about 20 minutes into the day. And here they come again. All right. So you could treat this signal here, actually probably this one here because the clouds are starting to uncross, as a number 3 signal. Now we're making a larger test of the extreme. And that may put the Knicks on the buying. We'll see here. It's really tough to get too aggressive with the market at this point. You could, I suppose you could bracket the market if you wanted to do an OCO style trade. You could look to sell down here and buy above this high here. Maybe not quite that tight. Maybe I'll give it a couple of ticks still, and likewise down here. What we have obviously is a sideways market that is winding up a little bit. When you see the market starting to make ranges that are tightening up, that tells you, the market is starting to coil up like a spring, and we could get a break one way or the other. I better enable a stop here. Oh dear, let's punch into that again. For whatever reason, my trade manager knocked me out of that. And So I just resubmitted the trade with the sell button. I may have to hold my stops here for a little bit though. It looks like we're seeing a little bit of a pushback. Just a short-term one. And I'm wondering, well, it's impossible for me to tell on this trade, but I'm wondering whether I got slipped on that entry. Back now to the lows of the morning. You can see a little bit of a bounce there, which would be expected. So we got a number one signal printing here on the reverse as the clouds crossed. We had this tiny little pullback, but I much prefer to see a pullback like this that comes back into the hard edge. And now I would like to see the hard edge support the new direction. It's very important, muy importante, as they like to say down in Mexico. Well, look at that. They're pushing back. The better stop is above the high right here. That is the stop where you can say with a greater degree of certainty, yes, I was wrong about this trade. And right now, we got to see some selling come back into the market. Got to see them respect that hard edge. It's not looking like it right now. Got a little bit of a trend line thing going on here. And there is some room to move below the lows of the day, but no, they're not going to let me have it. All right, well, they're not that interested in going lower, so I'm going to look for an opportunity to buy back in. Or maybe I was just too early to the party. Here they come slipping a little bit lower again. Got a nice little 4-arrow consolidation here in the hawk. could set up to buy this one, say even above the high. That would be a fairly simple trade to do, seeing how the fourth arrow has already signaled. And here on the hawk, or pardon me, the raptor, we're now getting a similar signal. We're getting that #1 signal to buy. So a couple of the tools in sync here. Well, actually, they're all in sync. The Falcon signal got out of sync here. But otherwise, the Eagle, right now the Raptor and the Hawk, all offering up more or less the same signal near the high of the morning. Now, if these highs continue to hold, we're going to have a little bit of a double top. See, here was the high out of the open, and here we are again. So that's a little bit of a double top type formation. Looks like I can scrub this order. Well, we're getting a lot of mixed signals now, which is kind of characteristic of a sideways trading range. Okay, I can close this order up. That's not going to happen. Oh, or will it? Oh, yeah. One of those days. Come on, give me that second push. Well, you know what? I'm going to throw my just in case order up there. I can always adjust my trade. Yeah, you might be right, Anthony. Anthony's still is telling me here the market's still going to tank. It might. We're seeing, again, another test of the extreme. Here's another number 2 signal. Honestly, I'm seeing a trading range developing like this. And so I'm a little bit hesitant to do anything inside this trading range. Okay, so we're getting a number 3 signal. Now I can adjust my buying attempt somewhat. Not really keen on when the indicators start to candy stripe like this, where we get the whole barber pole effect. Yeah, Scott says, what a sexy chart. Yeah, that just back and forth. Can't make up its mind. They are starting to paint themselves into a corner, though. A breakout higher is going to have some follow through, and a breakout short is going to have some follow through as well. And Nick says it looks like algo scalping, the algorithms having their way with the market. Yeah, it could be a few ticks higher, a few ticks lower. I'm still a little concerned about that earlier trade, the slippage on it. That's no fun. Okay, I can adjust this a little bit more still. Anthony's asking, are you scalp trading for 5 to 8 ticks at a time or swing trading to gain more profits? What's your style trading? Well, Anthony, I happen to have several tools on my Hawk scalper. I tend to scalp for smaller targets. The Raptor and the Falcon, I tend to hold on a little bit longer, more for a swing style target. And then the Eagle, the trend trader, we look to hold on a little bit longer still. All right, so now we're going to get a cloud crossover signal here. We've already got a first micro macro cross lower on the Hawk. We're working a trend change signal on the Falcon as well as the Eagle, a trend change signal. So let's take a look here. Come on, give me that pullback. Anthony's asking, do you trade in the zone of overbought or oversold? No, I trade whatever the indicators are showing me here on the particular tool. So on the Raptor, I'm looking at, well, usually one of my high probability signals, which have these number prompts associated with them. Come on, give me that pullback. And we have high probability signals as well here with the other birds, with the hawk, the falcon, and the eagle. All right, so the number one signal printed here now on the Raptor, it does give me a chance at a second push entry. This may retreat a little bit further still. The lows of the morning here at the 66.54 area. That's really the stumbling block. It would be okay to enter on the other side of those rather than trying to short it right here. It might be a little bit more predictable, actually. There they go, back into the hard edge. All right, well, we'll cancel that for now. They are really wound up here this morning. What a tight little trading range. Again, if you wanted to do an OCO style order, you could look to buy above here. You could look to sell below the low of the morning. And just wait them out. That is a perfectly acceptable trade right there. Probably adjust the buy stop a little bit by now. Okay, now we're getting a hard edge bounce. That's our number 3 signal. That tends to be a continuation signal. Anthony asks, which do you prefer the most? Well, it depends actually on the market conditions. One of my favorites is the Hawk Scalper. That kind of suits my trading style. You know, I like it's like your kids, right? You like them all for different reasons. The Falcon, very, very reliable, as is the Raptor. And then the Eagle, it produces fewer signals, but you tend to get the bigger follow through. In the room here, you're going to see I'm focusing on the Raptor a little bit more, just because there's a few more Raptor owners in the room. Oh, why did it do that again? All right, let's do that again. I'm going to have to reboot my NinjaTrader. Actually, what I'll do is I'll move my break even a little bit lower. Wow. Frank's asking, good morning. Well, good morning, Frank. Would you know how the programming to add the numbered high probability signals in the Raptor, like in the Raptor, is going in the DTS birds? So what Frank is asking is the signal prompts. So for instance, here on your Hawk, your first micro macro cross signal right there. And again, right here. No, I'm sorry, Frank. I don't know. But if you shoot an email to Adam, that is the best way to get those kinds of things done. And for those of you who may have forgotten Adam's email, it's adam@indicatorwarehouse.com. I'll put that in the window there for you. He always appreciates feedback like that. He really does. I think it's a great idea. But I'm not the one who makes those types of decisions. All right, working a little, the makings of a 4-arrow consolidation here in the Hawk. After that first micro macro cross, this may actually develop into a macro pullback as well. So a couple of follow-up signals there, a trend change signal now on the Falcon. The Eagle already gave us our trend change signal back there. Still working this Raptor trade. It's reluctant, but it's trying to get down there. Come on, kiss that first profit target. You can do it. You can do it. All right, we'll take the trade to break even. Oh, don't you dare. All right, so got the first profit target anyway. And I'll move into the parabolics, I think. There we go. So I'll let parabolics take my trade from here, and hopefully we'll head a little bit lower from here. Overnight lows, I think we're around 66.40, so where it looks like we're going to come into that zone here shortly. Scott makes a comment here coming from a newer DTS user. The birds looking at the right ones seem to signal before the Raptor. Well, the Raptor, you need to remember, is a hybrid. So the main signal generation from the Raptor comes from the Falcon. So a lot of Falcon signals will duplicate on the Raptor, but not exclusively so. The Raptor also takes into consideration Hawk signals and Eagle signals. So, like I said, it's more of a hybrid tool. In that sense, you know, I always struggle for an analogy, but it's kind of similar to your 12-in-1 screwdriver, right? You've got the screwdriver with the interchangeable bits. Yeah, it does the job. Is it as specialized, say, as your regular Phillips head or Robertson screwdriver? No, not necessarily, but it has its uses as well. It's not necessarily better or worse. It's just that it's a hybrid. And again, I've always struggled for a decent analogy. All right, well, picked up a couple hundred on that trade, so not bad. We're back down now around this 66, 40, 45 zone. I'm getting a little bit of pushback from the buyers. Falcon trendline already changing a little bit there. Definitely have a more bearish bent now, that's for sure. Okay, here's a trend change signal now on the Falcon, and you can see it's duplicated down here on the Raptor, even though on the Raptor it's more of a discretionary signal. It doesn't really fall in the category as one of our high probability signals. Not yet, anyways. Okay, a little bit of a counter trend move now on the Raptor. So we would anticipate a move back here to the hard edge of the trading band. The Hawk, quite a bit more bullish right now, giving us a first micro macro cross higher, so a scalp opportunity there. If you were inclined to do this number 2 signal, you got a second push opportunity on that one. And you can frame it up nicely this way as well, because you're going to look at taking out these highs, these little swing highs right here. Okay, so we'll scrub that right now. The better counter trend signals tend to come after a number 3 signal. Might have to stay with this market for a few minutes, but it seems reluctant to get below 66.40 right now. Okay, so here they come back with yet another number 2 signal. Oop, there it is. All right, well, they didn't slip me on that. Let's see if we can't get it back to that resistance line up here around 66.66. That's a pretty ambitious move for a counter trend trade. but we'll see what they give us. All right, there's the break even. Come on, get up there. Oh, why is it they always have to react after they hit my break even? Come on, just give me that little push. There we go. Get up there. All right. Well, I'll enable the parabolics. It may prove to be a little bit too tight, but we'll see. Protect a little bit of open profit anyway. If I can ride out this swing, I should be able to hit my profit target. And the market may even pick up a little momentum now that we're back inside the daily trading range. We'll see how that plays out. I really got to get above 66, 62. That's a tricky little spot. Come on. Nope. Not right now, anyway. So we're working an early trend change signal higher. Nice little late filter entry signal here in the Falcon. Worked out pretty well. And here we go with this sideways mess again. All right, another first micro macro cross lower in the hawk. The eagle actually gave us a green bar sell off of the hard edge. Whenever you encounter the hard edge on the eagle, you should always anticipate a reaction. A green bar sell tends to be a pretty good signal. Looks like that one's getting some decent follow through to it. And I don't know, are we going to trap some traders here? Definitely a bearish break. And here now the bullish reaction. Ooh, there's a quick little move. It's funny, you always need to be careful with these quick little moves because what they do, there will be a void in orders or somebody will throw in a bunch of orders. The market will make this quick little move and everybody reaches for their buy or sell buttons. Okay, we're working a number one signal now. Oh, there we go. Got some follow through on that. That one kind of unfolded a little bit too fast for me. Couldn't get the orders in. Oh, look at that. They keep trickling. Wow, what a nice move. So I'm looking for a little bit of a pullback of sorts, a hard edge bounce, something that's going to make it a little bit easier for me to get into this market. Nick says, we said wow at the same time. What else is there to say? Okay, here we go. Here's a little profit taking. Falcon already a little bit bullish here. That's going to sync up with this number 2 signal. So here a trend change signal on the Falcon. If you were inclined to side here with the buyers, I don't know if I want to do a full trade with the nuts. They're running away on me again. That's what I get for adjusting my trade. So I was looking at doing a little bit of a counter trend move like this. I didn't want to get too crazy with the position size, given the obvious strength of the sellers at this point. All right, well, we'll put that away for now. Might have to wait a few minutes here for things to confirm that there is a strong enough bottom to support a rally. We won't know that just yet. Oh, thanks, Anthony. Anthony says there's some FOMC minutes out today. Oh, not minutes, just some members making some remarks. They may spark the market a little bit. I find it's just the big meetings that really throw a wrench in the market. But hey, you never know. Sometimes the market looks for any kind of news it can get its hands on. So that number 2 signal, nice little move back here to the hard edge. The Falcon signal also following through. I do believe it would have hit my profit target. Yes, it did. Hooray for me. Okay, we're back in the hard edge on the Eagle. Remember I said when you hit those hard edges, you will anticipate a reaction, or you should anticipate a reaction. Frank's asking, where did I get that market news? I find one of the best websites for this kind of stuff is the Forex Factory. forexfactory.com. And they have all the different tabs. You just want to check out the calendar tab. You can set, this is set for my time zone, by the way, if these times look odd to you. And they highlight all the reports. Yellow tends to be minimal impact, orange a little bit more, red ones. Let's take a look here tomorrow. So tomorrow, consumer confidence, US, a red report. So they're anticipating that could be a little bit more important. The day after that, the GDP for the quarter, released an hour before the market, crude inventories, and so on. So a very helpful website, one that you may want to bookmark. All right, what I would really like to see now is a serious test of the extreme, a serious retest of the lows here off of this hard edge, and then a failure. by a failure, I mean a rally. That would make for a very predictable buy. Right now, caution is the word du jour, as we are in an obvious downtrend at the moment. But it does look like the 66, 26, 25 line on the support and resistance sweep is supporting the market at the moment. Okay, here now my test to the extreme. I'm surprised we didn't print a number 3 signal there. That's what it is. It is a hard edge bounce into the hard edge, comes out, should have produced a number 3 signal. If the market turns now and starts to rally, gives us a buy signal, there we go. That is going to be a very viable signal right there. I'll take it above the high. And actually this, oh, look at that. Oh, that's why it didn't print a number 3, because the clouds were a little bit out of sync there. Well, we got ourselves a bear sandwich again here. We could do another OCO order. We could short below here. We could buy above here. Ooh, enable your stop loss, Eric. Okay, well, that worked out a little better. At least this time it didn't disengage my order. We'll pull my break even a little bit. Not the follow through I was hoping for on the break of these lows. But we'll give them a moment here. Push a little harder. Come on. Getting very little cooperation from the market here this morning. There's been some nice moves, to be sure. Come on. No, this support zone really, really sticky right now. Really need to see the sellers step up here one more time and allow me a little stop adjustment. I don't typically reverse on my orders, but you know what? If I get stopped on this, I would consider reversing and buying. The simplest way to do that is when you get stopped out, just hit your buy button. Okay, sellers getting busy there. Looks like they flushed out a few of the buyers. Can bring my stops in a little bit. Here we go. Bring my break even. Market's hesitating. What I'm looking for is when the market hesitates a little bit, I'll bring my break even to that point. Oh, that's all right. Let's force the break even. Shoot. Well, might have been a little quick on the draw there, but we'll see. Okay, put that back on the shelf for now. Oh, here the Falcon doing a nice little late filter entry signal. So there's a chance to get, oh, may just have to punch in with that one. The late filter entry signal occurs when the filter goes out of sync and comes back into sync, but the trend line itself never changes color. Very strong signal. All right, sellers pushing hard. You can see we got actually a little counter trend signal in here. You have to be careful with those counter trend signals in the overall context of the market, right? The market will bounce somewhere through here. There will be some profit taking. Joe has a question. Joe says, I've been out of touch for a while. Whatever happened to the Raptor Facebook? Good question, Joe. I admit I haven't spent a lot of time there. But Adam is the fellow to ask. He would have all the particulars on that. Floyd's asking, any idea why crude oil is stuck? I don't know, Floyd. Crude oil is not the crude oil of old. It seems to be very lackluster of late. I think overall crude wants to rally, but I don't know. There's just not enough going on in that market right now. We need the OPEC members to have a fight. That's always a good way to get crude oil prices to move around a bit. When the OPEC members aren't getting along. Okay, here is that bullishness again. We're getting a trend change signal here. The Raptor trying to get bullish now, back into the hard edge of the cloud. So we're going to see a reaction. Once we get that reaction, that number 2 signal, that counter trend signal, that will make for a much more predictable buy. Ooh, look at them go. I don't know about you, I find days like this kind of difficult to trade. It's not that the signals haven't followed through. There's been exceptional follow through, but the market's not giving any second chances. If you don't get in right then and there, that's it, you're done. You don't get a second chance to buy back in. Here is a very early number 1 signal. It hasn't formed yet. The cloud's not fully crossed, but we have all the ingredients. Can I risk it down there? Oh, look at that. That's out of reach. That's crazy. That's the other problem with a day like today is the ranges are such that it makes it almost impossible to take advantage of some of these moves. There we go. Let's see what kind of follow through we get, if any. Where's the next resistance line? I'm going to run this bad boy out. It's getting near the lunch hour. I'll extend my profit target and see if they don't give me a move back here. Actually, 66.50 would be a reasonable move as a counter trend. Okay, and now the official #1 signal, printing pretty much at the same area where we anticipated it to print. Come on, let's get a little pushback. This is going to be a very important level for the buyers. The buyers have to push on through here. If they fail to push on through here, well, then it's very likely we're going to see a reverse. Wow, come on. Giddy up. All right, slowly but surely, getting a little bit of a move higher. And I'll move my break even now to the high of this bar. That's where the reaction is. So if we get another push higher, that'll bring the trade to break even. Doing my best to be patient with the market right now. Oh dear. The buyers non-existent here this morning. The bears are having their way with them. So I'm giving this trade every opportunity, trying not to be too quick with my stops. Okay, last chance for the buyers to dig in. Nope, ain't gonna happen. All right, well, we're here getting close to the lunch hour. I think we're gonna close up the room here this morning. I got a little bit of work to do this afternoon. Try to dug myself a little bit of a hole. If you're going to continue trading today, well, the downtrend definitely is stronger, but the buyers starting to show up. So I think I might expect a little bit more of a sideways market to develop this afternoon. That tends to happen. I don't think we're going to see a full-blown reverse, but it would not be unusual to see the market move in more of a sideways fashion for the rest of the day. All right, you guys, I will see you again tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.